Heyo, welcome back. We're here with more Bomb Rush.
And it's nighttime now.
Well, I think it's just this area of the city we're in.
Yeah. So speaking of nighttime and cool game stuff, so Castlevania Nocturne released recently. Jordan, have you gotten to see any of it?
Nope, but I did finally catch up on all the episodes of the anime of One Piece that are on Netflix right now. So I'm working
How
on
far
that,
does
and they're
that
going to
go?
release more on Sunday. So probably by the time this comes out, people will know. Currently, they're at episode 381.
Did that go into Water 7? Or
Oh,
is
I'm
that...
past Water 7. It
Okay.
ends with Thriller Bark.
Okay, that's... Okay, Thriller Bar. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, Thriller
Okay.
Bark is like the Halloween ship with the ghost
That's
girl.
what it is.
and-
Yes, yeah. The one that spawned the gif of Luffy pushing a zombie back into its grave, which I think is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion of One Piece since you've gotten through all of
Well,
that?
it takes about 250 episodes to get interesting, but after that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, sounds about right. But I imagine that 200 plus episodes gets cut down when you cut out all of the filler, considering that anime is airing, alongside the manga's publication.
Actually, I'm surprised by just how little filler there is.
Well, and that's the thing is you never know when something is filler or isn't, because
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could be easy to tell, maybe not. But there are some guides that I've heard of that can help slim down the experience for people.
Yeah.
Like there's this one site I remember hearing called One Piece that is essentially like, hey, you want to watch One Piece but not have to deal with a ton of, not have to deal with any of the in-between filler? Check out this guide, and we can tell you which episodes are not part of the manga, and you can just kind of blast through that way.
Yeah, except honestly, the arc in the anime that comes right after Skypiea is probably one of the best, where they invade a naval base. Not in the manga. It was created just for the anime, and it's probably better than like the next arc in the anime,
Okay.
which is off of the manga. Like I will say, it's the one time they made something that really did surpass Oda's work.
Well, that's the thing, is that I am of the mind that there is such a thing as good filler, and like, so my idea of filler is like this. If you're gonna make something that's, separate from the manga because you want the manga to go through its thing so that it catches up and then continues its story so that you have more, anime to make from the source material, because the thing about anime is that you can basically like adapt a piece of manga like super quickly. Like an episode of an anime can go through multiple chapters of a manga in terms of content. So
Oh, yeah.
it's not out of question for a anime to utterly, keep up, to utterly surpass where a manga's time is at that time.
Well, I
So
mean,
they'll
yeah,
have to
that's
go, like-
exactly what happened to.
Full Metal Alchemist is
Yeah.
one of the
One of
examples
the
that is
many.
notorious. Like, and this is coming from somebody that does like the direction, that's actually kind of fine with the direction that the story took in the original FMA versus, like, both Full Metal Alchemist animes are great, and I still like 2003, and there are some things that were original ideas and storylines that the series went off in on that side that I was like, hey, that's not bad. I like that.
Yeah.
So hence my argument back to good filler.
Yeah.
Like a good
Good
filler
filler exists.
episode. A good filler episode of an anime, in my opinion, should be something that explores a side of the character that the manga might not have or probably won't explore.
Or doesn't even have time for.
Or
Because
doesn't have
it's
time
focusing
to explore.
on its story.
Yes, because let's face it, manga also goes through a lot of rewrites and constraints due to it not being entirely in the mangaka's control, but through the editors. In fact, I may correct me if I'm wrong about this, but in the comments, but I remember hearing that apparently the original villains, like full villains of the Android saga, was meant to be just androids 19 and 20, and then 18 and 17 were created when Toriyama's editor was like, we need you to make a different villain, please. These are not going to appeal. And then after 17 and 18 were made, dissatisfaction hit again, and then Cell was made, and then after one more dissatisfied phone call, Perfect Cell was made. So
that sounds about
like,
right.
Manga creation goes under its own levels of constraints. So when an anime can sometimes do some character stuff that's, you know, not in the original source material, I kind of like that. Like, there's a specific episode of Full Metal Alchemist 2003 that I really like that involves Edward trying to track down his missing leg and Al, who is mistaken to be somebody else's cargo after their encounter with Scar. And he encounters this veteran with a missing leg who says, like, hey, I know an automail engineer who can make you a good leg. She makes really good automail. And the soldier's like, no, I don't want that, because this missing leg is a part of who I am now. And if I just try to omit that part of myself, then what's left of me? And then he turns the question on Ed, like, when you're trying to correct your mistake, are you going to remember that? Is that going to be something about yourself that you're gonna, like, are you gonna completely forget all of the errors, all of the trials you've gone through? Because, you know, Ed's in the military at that point in the series. He's in the alchemist. He's a state alchemist. So it's like,
yeah. Damn.
Is he, after he gets his leg and arm back, is he just gonna say takesy backsies against the military and be like, hey, I know I signed up for your thing, but just say no? So I like the idea of that filler episode, just kind of putting that idea on a character that wasn't in the source material, as far as I know. And that in my mind is good filler. Bad filler is when you have just like the quirky comedy episode that just does not add shit. Like, granted, filler episodes in general do not add shit to a main story because they're meant to essentially be like not affecting the main story at all.
Yeah.
But
they're literally filler.
But when something only just fills a purpose to be, when something's kind of like the equivalent of anime, like the anime equivalent of a potato chip, that's where you know you've got bad filler. Not just, and when I say like a potato chip, I mean like a cheap potato chip. Like, a good filler episode is the kind of potato chip that's like, oh, there's got this, yeah, this is gonna not affect anything, but this is, at the very least, has a bit more flavor to it. A bad filler episode is like, no, this isn't a good chip, this just tastes like plastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my opinion, that there is such a thing as good and bad filler, and One Piece likely has both.
Oh yeah.
I remember I saw a video analysis.
I wish Skypiea was filler.
Wow, that might be a controversial take.
I don't know. I think it's honestly the worst arc they got.
What about? I don't know. Okay, so I've bits and pieces knowledge of One Piece, but I hear a lot of good stuff about Alabasta. What do you think about that one?
Loved Alabasta. Like, honestly, maybe it went on a little too long, but like, okay, my cousin, she's got friends. She just got to college. She was looking to kind of get into One Piece. Didn't want to sign up for like all the episodes. Well, you know what? They've actually made like movie adaptations of certain arcs, and I really think that's the way to take it in. I think Alabasta really probably benefits from that.
Yeah, there are some stories that could benefit from having a more tight runtime versus it being drawn out as a whole series.
Yeah, like I haven't seen the movie adaptation, but having seen it, it being an early arc, what it was able to do, etc., I really liked Alabasta. I think it does show a lot of what the show is capable. Oh my god.
Oh, that's mean.
What if... Oh, 1 second. Can I jump this?
Oof.
No, I can't boost that far.
No,
okay,
no way.
Okay.
But
okay, so
yeah,
I'm trying to think. I don't see where this bike dude went. Maybe he's up there somewhere. That would make some sense.
The part of the presentation to take home is this: there is such a thing as good and
we've
bad
gotten
filler.
really off topic, but damn, whatever.
yeah. I started asking if you've seen Castlevania.
No.
I'll give
Yeah.
my opinion in a second, but the part of the presentation on filler to take home is this: there is such a thing as good and bad filler, and the ability to at the very least see if a filler episode is going to explore an idea with some character ideas that the manga didn't, then that in my mind is like, okay, that's filler that tries to at the very least add to a character but not affect the plot.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, or as I'd say with like that like marine base arc, it adds to the plot. Like instead of just landing in the ocean and okay, they're on to the next arc. No, they landed in a marine base. This is some shenanigans that happened, and it was time to flesh out some characters, and it really helped.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, I imagine they like a lot of this filler stuff is made with the approval of the original creators. It's not like they did this.
I think I see how to do it now. Okay.
Like, I don't think that's I don't think they ever made those with just being like, hey, let's pull the wool over the eyes of the creator and just do this funny thing with the characters without telling them or something. The case, yeah, that's our little
that was close.
filler part
okay, I think
there.
I see how to get up there.
But Castlevania Nocturne. So, I've only seen up to episode 4 at the time of recording this video, and I can say for certain that the way that they reinterpreted some characters is very interesting. How much do you know about Castlevania, Jordan?
Very little. I know, like, N64 was the first time they really got involved with the story, but the game absolutely sucked. The PS2 went to a fighting game era where there wasn't really any mainline entries until the 360, like, whatever, of Shadows era. The Game Boy games, etc., had some effect on the storyline and plot, and essentially there's just a lot of generational nonsense that could probably fill a JoJo's episode.
So, you're on the mark with some things. The fighting game was on the Wii.
Yeah, I think it was
not
a
the
port
PS2.
of the PS2, but okay. Go on.
So essentially, Castlevania kind of had an interesting history as far as its creation and everything. And when it was made, there was no real initial timeline, and a timeline was established. And I've mentioned, and I've talked about this before with some people, but about how, like, timelines are one of the worst things you can do if you're going to have a long-running series of any kind, games, books, or otherwise, because it just at best it can establish like a clear canonical through line of between entries of something, but at worst it can completely stifle the ability to create new or interesting things because you have to constrain yourself to a timeline. So, yeah. And I mention the games in particular because these Netflix series seem to take a lot of ideas from the games and reinterpret them into their own reimaginings of some characters.
Oh, that sucked.
That's a fall.
Yeah, that sucked. I hit that sign thinking I'd go forward.
I think I remembered saying this before, but this reminds me of that one Night City stage in Sonic Adventure 1.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, the one where you're like breaking through glass and running down the sides of buildings.
Yeah. I'm gonna be lambasted a bad Sonic fan for not remembering the name. Crisis? No, that was 2006. Yeah. There we go.
But you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I feel like a bad Sonic fan because I don't remember the name off the top of my head right now. But
yeah,
Damn
our
it.
One Piece opinions probably wouldn't cause any stirs, but it's the Sonic ones that do.
Amen to that.
But
damn.
What I meant by reinterpretation is that okay, have you at least seen the original Castlevania series, like the first?
Yeah, it was
4
pretty
seasons?
good on Netflix.
Yeah. So Isaac and Hector, 2 characters that were added in season 2, were actually characters from the PS2 game Curse of Darkness, I believe. And if you see any footage of that, Hector and Isaac are very different characters there versus in the Netflix series. And good for different reasons, but it just kind of goes to show that what Powerhouse Animation is doing is taking a lot of these older characters from these games and reinterpreting them in ways that are just their own take on some of the story beats and aspects of the timeline. And I really like it because Isaac in the Castlevania Netflix series is just amazing.
Yeah, because I know in the new one that's on Netflix now, it's based off of the second or third game on the NES, I think.
No.
Or is it the SNES one? Because isn't the black girl with the yellow uniform supposed to be like a thief or something? And now they have her
no.
So I don't fucking know what's going on.
Come
on. Don't.
The new girl Annette is actually in the Rondo of Blood is the game that is inspiring Castlevania Nocturne, and with that, it's like, okay, well, it was a more advanced system back then because it was the PC Engine that Castlevania Rondo of Blood originally released on almost 20 years ago, which I would have found really funny if they just waited another month or so. They could have gotten Castlevania Nocturne out on Rondo of Blood's 20th anniversary, but I guess they had other plans regarding that. But, Annette is the character's name, and she was actually Richter's girlfriend in the original game. But they gave her a bit more agency as well as her own powers to manipulate rock and metal in Nocturne, which I'm cool with, give a character more to do and more agency in the story. I like that.
New graffiti.
They gave one of the playable characters a lot more in terms of her story, because this takes place during the French Revolution, so they're like, oh, let's have this revolutionary spirit go on with some of the characters.
Oh yeah, because it takes place in France, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they include some other, some new villains as well. Like they have I believe they're original villains in terms of the additions they've made, and they changed Richter to something that's a bit different than what I hear is his character in the original game, because in the original game, he was pretty much more like shonen hero-esque in terms of his personality. Like big hero man, believer of the good of people kind of thing. But in Nocturne, he's kind of an ass.
As most protagonists these days do.
Yeah, and again, I like it though. It's them doing their own reinterpretations of characters that might not be everybody's cup of tea, because let's face it, there are a lot of fans of the original game that might not like the direction that's being done. In fact, I remember one criticism I saw that actually kind of made me laugh when I think back to it, where it's like, oh, this doesn't feel like it fits with the setting of Castlevania. This isn't realistic. This breaks my immersion with it. There's this lady that's a villain that shows up, and she has this aesthetic of hair that is dyed from black to pink, like a gradient thing.
Okay.
And she has like these what I could only describe as sort of hoof-like shoes. Like think of platform heels but without the heel.
Okay.
And
I've seen shoes like that.
And it's a neat design idea, and people are just, and then I remember seeing some comments on Twitter pointing out like, oh, this is so unrealistic. This breaks the idea of the setting completely. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure. In a fantasy action,
that's where we draw the line.
Weird shoes and dyed hair draws the line for you in terms of realism series that's got vampires, night creatures, guys that can use whips to take knives out of trees, people that can summon fire and spiritual creatures, and people that can people that can form metal and rock into swords. Like, sure, but dyed hair and platform shoes, yeah, that's the part that's where we draw the line. That's where you draw the line. Okay. So I just thought that was kind of funny because of like that. Like, there are some things in Nocturne that I've kind of raised an eyebrow at and thought, like, I'm not so, like, I've got my gripes, but so far I like it. It's just, I just thought that criticism was kind of funny because, like, of the things that they could point out, it's that. Like, the idea of that being unrealistic. So,
it's anime. Yeah. It's all unrealistic.
It's animation, you know? It's meant to have like, and it's not like Castlevania, was a super down to earth kind of series in terms of its what's the word I'm thinking of?
Dude, as you said, this is literally a series about a dude who runs around with a whip and kills a vampire.
Literally, Frankenstein's monster is a boss fight.
Yeah.
And
Like,
Castlevania Aria of Sorrow
meant to be some kind of exquisite period piece.
Yeah,
looking
it's not a period piece with vampires in
France.
it. It'd be like the equivalent of like, it'd be like the equivalent of watching Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and somebody in there wears like Crocs and they're like, oh, Crocs in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Oh, that just snaps my immersion in half. Sure, that's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's not the fact that we're in as an American whatever and he's a vampire hunter. No, it's the Crocs. Always the Crocs.
Yes, that's it. The shoes are it. So not a good example to point out, but nonetheless, yeah. So.
Oh man.
It's been an interesting time to watch Nocturne though. Again though, we've got a lot of pretty interesting animated series. The Devil May Cry animated series, got announced recently as well, a couple days ago, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks okay from the screenshots I've seen. I'm not entirely sold on Dante's design.
Don't know much about it, man. I don't watch a lot of TV though, so excuse me.
The best way that I could describe Dante's, I think the thing about Dante's look that is not my thing is the hair. The hair for him, Dante's always had like very sort of loose, flowy hair, but his hair in this new animated series is kind of more up and styled, I guess. Like, that's the best way I think it's just the hair for me. Like, other people have said, like, maybe it's the jacket, maybe it's the shirt, or something. I don't know, but I have yet to feel sold on the Dante design, but maybe it'll grow on me. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to see it more in action, because it literally we only got like a 45-second long teaser of it.
Yeah.
But I do have faith in the project because Adi Shankar is doing it, and Adi Shankar is one of the producers of the Castlevania Netflix series, and he also has done a lot of real gritty, bloody reinterpretations of old properties that people really like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know about that really bloody Power Rangers video?
Nope.
So, there was like this really gritty Power Rangers video that was made many years ago, and that was one of the things Adi Shankar produced. He's known for doing a lot of these gritty, bloody reinterpretations of old characters, or even just gritty, bloody things in general. Like there was a Punisher one he did that was really good too. So I trust him to do. I trust that I trust the series since he seems to really enjoy doing a lot of these projects, and I just hope, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, because I remember hearing very kind of mixed things about the Devil May Cry anime, like the old one from the 2000s.
Well, I mean, some of its plot did carry into the games, so.
Yeah, it was featured in Devil May Cry 5. It had a greater segment of time dealt to it for a recap than Devil May Cry 2 did. Yeah.
Even though Devil May Cry 2 is the best of the original trilogy.
You just... This man... People, I don't want to... Dude, I don't want to make my own YouTube apology video for you, man. Stop! I don't want to sit in front of a camera with my... I don't want to sit in front of a camera with like, piss poor lighting and being like, listen, I understand he makes a lot of hot takes about Devil May Cry, but I must make it known that my opinions are not shared by him. Please. I'm not making my apology video for you, man.
But it has the cool freaking building demon and the giant orangutan tank.
But it plays like ass!
So did the first one.
Yeah, the first one at the very least didn't have levels that didn't encompass a whole fucking zip code.
I mean, at least, unlike the first one and the third ones, the guns actually do shit in the second one.
That's the issue! They just encourage you... Like the weapons did not feel satisfying, and it was
Okay,
just
the
a
weapons
slog.
don't feel satisfying in 1 or 3. At least I can use a gun competently in a game that features them in the second one, okay? I don't have to juggle people with a freaking rocket launcher to do any damage.
The swords are supposed to be the big damage dealer. That's the
Yeah,
idea.
but then again, when everything is a freaking sponge for damage, like the swords don't feel satisfying because I may as well be cutting
But
into
that's
cloth.
but that's where you do dodges and Royal Guard
And
Guard
I'll
blocks.
admit, I hate Royal Guard as a stance. Like, I think I am literally just the anti-Devil May Cry guy. Like, again, Devil May Cry DMC is
you are
the
built
best DMC for me. I'm like,
you are the exact kind of person who feels like they should be targeted for a FPS guy plays Devil May Cry for the first time video.
I mean, I'm not saying I need to be targeted for it because I've played the only Devil May Cry games I haven't played are 4 and 5. Like, I've given the series a chance. I cannot get into it. Gameplay wise, like lore wise, character wise, yeah, I think Devil May Cry definitely has a lot going for it, but the games are actually really hard for me to like get into. Like Bayonetta did it a little better, but it wouldn't exist without Devil May Cry. So like, I'm gonna give Devil May Cry props there because you can't have Bayonetta if there ain't no Devil May Cry, you know.
There I get. Anywho, Nocturne's good so far. I look forward to finishing it, and I believe there will be a second season because Castlevania became an extremely hot property when the Netflix series dropped. So it feels like a second season is bound to happen.
God.
But yeah,
why is it so hard to make this jump?
The Devil May Cry anime or animated series. I don't know if I should call it an anime actually. Because
I wonder.
That's an interesting issue that's kind of come up recently regarding things like Castlevania or Devil May Cry, that Dota animated series that came out a while ago.
Do they count as anime since they're made by Western studios?
Yeah. Does it count?
You know, I'm going to say Avatar: The Last Airbender isn't anime, it's anime inspired. So I'm fine with like Western studios taking the concepts of anime, adapting them, making their own stuff. Amen. You should be able to do that as an artist. That's not the problem. The issue is that anime is a cultural export and a genre of a style of animation that originates from Japan. So you can say it's anime inspired or anime like. That's completely fine. But if it's not an actual cultural export of the country, then it's not anime. Anime is literally Japanese by its definition. If it's not made by a Japanese creator, it's not anime. Chinese animation can look very similar to anime, but it's Chinese animation, not Chiname. I don't know what I would call it.
Or Chinese cartoons, as it used to be long ago.
Yeah,
those were old times.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Is like, you know, if we're using those kinds of terms, like, I'm not gonna say Mexican cartoons can't have like their own cultural, you know, impact, etc. A lot of Mexican animation still makes it to the States sometimes, and we don't really have a term for it. We just call it Mexican animation or Hispanic animation, because culturally we kind of loop in all of South America, which is wrong, but it's what we do.
Well, America's like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. So I think the way to do this jump, because looking at the map, and I'm glad I did like the high five thing, but it looks like you're technically supposed to get a boost off of doing that tag, hit that sign, be able to aim your jump perfectly to get on that grind well, to go into those grind rails, to go up, down, or forward into the building.
Jesus.
Like, that's the only way to progress in the map. I think that's where the Flesh Prince dude went. So that's why I'm retrying this over and over and over again. So this episode's going to be kind of boring because we're actually having a great discussion. This is actually like a level up yours.
Is there
nothing else in this level.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
this level I've done
Can you
almost
can
all
you
the
not find
tags
any
now.
other boost helps for you? Like any
Well,
other
like, I
boosters?
can get my boost helps by kicking these trash cans.
Yeah, fill up on that before you attempt it again. But yeah, it's just animation is the big sort of term that can kind of define a lot of it. I don't know. I'm just kind of seeing how things are. Like that's why I've been kind of referring to a lot of these as animated series
Yeah.
versus anime, I
No,
guess.
I agree. They're animated series. The art direction is anime inspired. I don't think that's ever going to be a hot take to say. Looking at it, a lot of animation now is anime inspired. It's just become an industry norm.
Yeah. And
Um, that,
overall, I'm in the end it's all just good shows and good stuff. Like if
yeah.
like the semantics of it can be complained about heaven and earth and all
Yeah.
that,
You
but
know I'm here to make hot takes, but
yeah,
at the end of the
but in the
day, like,
at the end of the day, we're just getting a lot of cool looking shows.
oh yeah.
That's it. We're getting a fucking Tomb Raider. I did not.
Yeah, that's
Maybe it
pretty
was
cool.
announced and I missed that, but how the fuck are we getting a Tomb Raider series? Of all things,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I would have. Part of me would have expected Uncharted before Tomb Raider.
Agreed. Probably
And
with how
another,
bad the movie did.
yeah, maybe, yeah. But then there's also a Far Cry Blood Dragon animated
I
series.
am super stoked for that. That was the last good Far Cry.
Yeah, I played Far Cry 3 and 4. Those are my only Far Cry entries. And
Yeah.
you know, 4 you can claim in terms of like, yeah, not as very interesting story and character wise, but I loved the locale of it. I loved the mountains, you know?
Yeah, this whole Tibetan kind of thing was pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
and I liked getting to ride on elephants. That was fun.
yeah. That said, 3 reinvented the series almost with its direction. It is what modernized Far Cry and actually got it to what I'd say is a normal audience. Blood Dragon was just freaking fun. Like, they just took the engine, said, okay, same system as Far Cry 3. What's a crazy story we can tell with it? And they just had fun. Like, that was one of my favorite games at that time, you know?
And the
Like,
fact that it was a standalone game that technically was also DLC was pretty cool too.
mm-hmm.
Because I think that was a trend that went around in 2013.
Yeah. If you want me to pay like $10 to $15 for DLC, how about you give me an entire campaign since you're just putting it in engine, right?
Oh my god, that's 10 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, how we have fallen and the corporations have become more greedy.
How time just feels fast forwarded. God, I remember in 2013 I was playing my 3DS a shit ton, playing Fire Emblem Awakening, and now the 3DS's eShop is dead.
Yep.
But I mean, in the end, at the very least, it feels like nowadays though we are getting a lot of stuff.
Almost.
But again, of the things that would have gotten animated series, Far Cry Blood Dragon was also one that I was like,
of any
like-
Far Cry game, it is the only real contender.
yeah, but
But yeah, why a Far
I think
Cry
I think in
series?
the grand scheme of like video games that could be made into anime inspired series or even any animated series period, like I would have part of me would have expected, I don't know, if I wanted to go like a weird pulpy blood filled one, I would have thought No More Heroes
Oh
before
no, that
Far
would
Cry.
be great. Actually, I'd love a No More Heroes series. I think everybody would.
Yeah. Like I would have thought No More Heroes because of, you know, its surgence in popularity regarding No More Heroes 3 doing relatively okay, and
Yeah.
Suda51 and Swery are coming up with are doing a new game together.
Well, that's good.
Do you know who Swery is?
No clue, but if he's working with Suda, he's got to be cool.
He is the guy that's behind Deadly Premonition.
Never heard of it.
Okay. Dark Dreams Don't Die.
Never heard of it.
The missing J.J. McAfield.
Never heard of it.
What are some? feels like you ought to have at least heard of Deadly Premonition. I felt like that would have been your. I feel like that would have been one of your jams.
Nope.
Because it's a janky, weird mystery game.
That would have been more on Amanda's list than mine.
Okay, let me find. Where's some that released? Yeah, I get. Yeah, Deadly Premonition. Okay, anyway, the new game is called Hotel Barcelona, and it looks like a weird grindhouse action side-scroller game that looks really fun.
All right, I'm up for that.
So, but yeah, as I said, like Far Cry of all things. But it also got me to thinking, like, okay, if Far Cry's on the
release
docket
like
for...
a Far Cry 3 HD because of that, or like a Blood Dragon HD.
Yeah.
To go with the show, you know.
Maybe they'll do that. I mean, Ubisoft are doing.
As cynical as I am, I think that might even be part of the reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing that I can probably hope regarding anything Ubisoft related is that new Prince of Persia game will be good.
They're making a new one.
You haven't heard?
No.
Yeah, new side scroller Prince of Persia. It's kind of
Why would they go
Metroidvania-ish in structure.
Okay.
At least that's what I've seen from the trailers, and it looks pretty good.
Okay. I mean, hey, I'll give it a shot. I don't know, man. Like, I got the Xbox 360 one for Christmas the year it dropped. They essentially made the ending a freaking, you know, loose end cliffhanger. I haven't touched a single game from there since, because I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to finish the story. Like, I actually liked the game, so, you know, screw you, Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft, like, fun thing, I actually attempted
to
try
your games don't suck.
I ended up trying the Sands of Time PC version, and...
Oh, my lord.
That version of the game actually is unplayable. To me, I don't know if other people face the same issue, but
you know, I think I got it in my library. I've been wanting to try it because like
my controller was not working with it. The cutscene frame rates were completely out of sync with the audio. It was and for a lot of the game there was like this haze effect that just would not go away until I went into the graphics settings. It is an ass version of the game, genuinely.
I did hear that there was some drama when they made the remake.
I think, yeah, I don't know. It just, I attempted the original Sands of Time version on PC, and I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna, I would rather attempt to get a PS2 to play some PS2 original games rather than, you know, play the PC version of them. Because, like, yes, PC is a good way to preserve a lot of these old games, but let's face it, sometimes these ports are not optimized for the platform.
Hey, man, can you look up, like, since I'm obviously playing this game, if this is the path I need to go down? Like...
I mean, what should I look up on this?
Let me see. You'd probably do, in the inquiry... Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, let me see the city, and just say walk through and see what we're supposed to do after the first encounter with that baller dude, because seriously, I don't see any other way to progress.
Weren't you supposed to follow him or something?
Yeah, but when you follow him, you end up going through the tunnel, because he's not in the tunnel. He's not skating around the area anymore. The only area I can see to go through, because the other side of the map has a giant poison trap. 1 second. It didn't show the title. You can't go through the poison trap.
I found it.
Oh, okay. So it looks like you have to do like this crazy jump to get onto those rails, which you can probably access from the other side of the map, but okay, Matan. Yeah, we're in Matan. I just want to know if I'm like ramming my head on a wall for no reason here.
Okay, so it seems like you're... Hold on. It looks like you'll have to go to... So you do need a bike for this.
Okay, so they did say... okay, because I saw the bike sign down there. So I was like, okay, I need to switch to a bike. Switch to a bike. But I'm not able to make that jump, and I don't know if it's because of the way my camera works or what. If that's the area I need to be jumping in.
So it looks like you may need... trying to find a good way to... like, maybe you need to get over the fence in the in that area that you're trying to get through.
There is no way to get over that fence. If you're talking about the one in the middle of this building.
I'm seeing somebody be able to make it.
Yeah, everything I've run into in this game, you can't go over fences. Interesting. So what they're doing, you're saying, is they're coming like from here onto this building, they're hopping that fence right there?
Yeah.
They're hopping that fence.
Yes.
Okay, maybe I can grind this rail. Get
Walking move
speed.
styles, stick next to the fence, perform an attack. Once the animation ends, press jump to hop over it.
Okay, so I gotta go walking style.
Yes.
Okay. Ah, dang it. I don't have baiting boost, so this is gonna be a fun one. Alright. So I get next to it, attack it, and then jump?
No, it's perform an attack. Once the animation ends, press jump.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, that's to a graffiti.
Yeah, that brings me to a graffiti, which, cool, I'm glad I got the tag. But... and heck, I didn't even know you could do that to get past fences.
Alright, well now you know.
Yeah. That timing, though, is really crazy. Let's see, find which one I want up here. Yeah, I like that one. So yeah, like, I do that, hop up.
Can you not... can you just go over to the bike door with your bike?
Yeah, so if I go over to the bike door with
because
my
I
bike,
remember
right?
seeing something glowing when you were on the platform earlier.
Yeah, it glows. Wait, am I supposed to wait? Mother... Fuck! This game's all about movement, so okay. Quick recap for everybody. See this rail going up that's going to lead to these rails here? I thought, I gotta jump off this roof.
Oh.
To tag that. To jump off that sign to get to that rail there.
Oh, buddy.
I've been trying to do this long jump combo the whole time. The answer,
don't you love...
if you got a bike, just sit on this platform for about 5 seconds. It'll open the level up to you.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Like...
yeah, I saw the bike sign, and so I thought it was like, hey, you gotta have a bike to make this jump. Like, there was something to the jump.
Don't you find that as an odd trend with a lot of people within our generation, where we tend to overthink things? Like, we're kind of a weird overthinking kind of group, aren't we?
Oh, definitely.
Like, we just... like, I have that a lot of times in games, too. Sometimes I overthink it, and I'm like, oh, it's got, like, to get the solution, I gotta think this thing. Like, when learning coding, for instance, I always think the problems are a lot harder than they... or what have you, and it's like, no, they're simpler. You don't overthink it. You know, sometimes it's literally in the name, or sometimes it's actually very straightforward. Sometimes you don't need to do a whole ass algebraic equation to get the answer 37 or something. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's like,
I see. So I think what you were supposed to do was take this path to jump onto that sign to get to that graffiti. But since I didn't unlock
so you did the hard way.
Yeah, because I didn't unlock the freaking bike area, I got up on that roof. Then I used my boost to allow me to boost jump over to the graffiti so that I could land on the sign. Which, amazing. You can make that jump. But obviously, the game was intending for me to go over to this rail. Yeah.
Well, now you know.
Oh man.
I don't think you're meant to go over there though.
So I was hoping it could. Oh well.
But yeah, there you go.
Dude,
So now that it was
thank you
literally
for
just
looking
wait.
that up. I was just like, what the hell am I doing wrong here? I was overthinking.
Yep.
Like a lot.
Oof. But yeah, the
What the hell?
that's something that I've noticed as far as you know, problem solving nowadays is that
The
sometimes
hell?
you just tend to go super roundabout around a place, and it's like, hey man, like it's literally that simple.
Yeah. Okay, they've built a really interesting level here.
They have.
I like this map. It's just I do not understand exactly what needs to be done on this map. Okay, so that goes down.
Well, you're meant to follow the guy
Right.
with the
Oh
You're
crap.
meant to follow that Frank.
Well, yeah, but I gotta figure out how to get to the other side of these rails. So, like, the last time you hit that down button, you come around, you should be able to hop off the building to get to the top rail. Then when you get to the top rail, there's a rail that literally drops you into the city. So, I think you gotta go off of that top rail, maybe... Oh, man, I don't know which way. So, there must be a way... Oh, I see. Go off that top rail to hit that sign, to do
Yeah, then you-
big-ass graffiti, and then... I don't know from there.
Yeah. But you know what? At the very least, we figured that out.
Yep. Hopefully this unlocks going to the next area.
You know what? I just thought of this. Considering I mentioned Deadly Premonition earlier, part of me kind of wonders if Deadly Premonition could work as an animated series or a TV show. But I also just remembered, like, no, because then that's just Twin Peaks or True Crime.
I mean, but those worked as TV series, so...
Yeah, but if Deadly Premonition or Deadly Premonition or Deadly Premonition 2 were made into a now, people would be like, this is literally just the thing that inspired it, but to some extent, like, not
Okay,
as...
how did I do that?
I don't know. Deadly Premonition has its fans, but I mean, people like it for it being a jank video game. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I get
like
that.
the equivalent of being a fan of a terrible B movie because it's a terrible B movie.
Inhumanwich.
Yeah.
It needs
or
a sequel.
Inhumanwich, Velocipaster.
I do love
like,
Velocipaster.
if you have, for anybody that's watching this and hasn't seen Velocipaster, please
Do
go
yourself a
see
favor.
it.
Go watch it.
Go see it. All you need to know is that it's about a priest that gains the ability to turn into a velociraptor. That's it.
Literally,
I'm not telling you.
10 out of 10. We'll probably watch that movie again.
Yes, 10 out of 10. Even better if you have some drinks. It's fucking funny. And the thing is, it kind of knows it's bad too.
Oh, I think I see what I gotta do now. Okay.
But yeah, it's
Okay, so I did that backwards. That's what I did.
so that's the Deadly Premonition thing. God, what else? What are some other games? So No More Heroes would be kind of cool.
Definitely.
I'm trying to think, because like the thing is, it's like not all these animated series that are super popular.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Like, people discovered Castlevania mostly. Like, a lot of people only really know Castlevania from Netflix series and didn't know it was a game series before that.
Really? That kind of surprises me, because, like, it's one of the
that-
granddads of gaming, you know?
Yeah, but yeah.
Hmm.
Oh no, I just had an idea.
Oh, what's your idea? Because I need some.
A Mega Man X animated series.
They actually kind of already did that with the Day of Sigma.
Day of Sigma, yeah, but I mean
Yeah.
like a full-blown animated series.
I mean, honestly, yeah, you got your pilot right there. I think it could work.
That'd be kind of... Oh, God. Because Mega Man, as far as I know, had some pretty good success in its animation department. I remember liking the Battle Network TV series.
Battle Network was good. That American...
NT Warrior, as we all called it here in the States.
Yeah, I mean...
Or
yeah,
no, wait.
It was NT Warrior.
It was NT Warrior for the anime, but Battle Network for the games. It was weird.
Yeah, I don't care. It was a good show. At least growing up, I liked it. I mean, I'm trying to remember what it's called, but I got like the entire DVD box set of the American Mega Man animated. You had Mega Man Upon a Star because they had a Japanese anime that did get dubbed like early for kids animation.
Oh,
It was actually all right. And then, yeah, I mean, Mega Man kind of works in anime.
do you think they could ever attempt to do a Sonic animated series that could try to, chronicle the stories of the games like X did?
Yeah, I mean, there's
Because
literally nothing stopping them.
yeah, like, because I remember sharing with you that Knuckles animation that was promoting Sonic Frontiers. By the way,
Yeah.
Jordan does want to plan on streaming the new Sonic Frontiers
Yeah, I was thinking about
free
doing it
update
tonight
stuff.
or tomorrow, but oh man, I just don't know what to do in this level now. Yeah, yeah, the Sonic update's looking really good. I'm excited for it.
I've seen some clips of it that are kind of hilarious. Is there not a valve to turn or something?
I mean, if there is, I don't know where. It's the biggest issue I'm having here. Is like, you're supposed to follow him. He is no longer here. He went through the freaking thing. That obviously was a dead end, even though I was able to get up there, so that's kind of cool. Um, Obviously, there's a way I can get up there.
Maybe
too,
it's a rep thing.
I
Maybe you
doubt
need
it.
to. I think maybe it is a rep thing.
No, because remember how we had to turn that valve on that last character? It's possible. This is a valve kind of thing, but where are they keeping that valve?
Interesting. Yeah, this seems kind of
But they've just given you a
kind of
tiny space and like nothing to go off of. You find a Frank, you tag the Frank, and now what? Like, this makes no sense.
and you already got the mascot thing.
Yep, and I did the mascot thing. I've done all the tags but one. I don't think they're going to force me to get all tags. No area's done that yet. I mean, it's possible, but... So yeah, he ran in here, right? So he runs in here. I just stop here. There is no Frank in here. Nothing there. Oh, if I got
Yeah, you slide. You slide there. I was thinking, like, do you slide in there?
Yeah, that's where he's at. Oh my freaking lord!
Literally hiding in plain sight right there.
He ducked into a freaking. Okay, I feel stupid.
I might have distracted you with talk of One Piece and Castlevania. My bad.
Maybe so, but whatever, man. Like, yo, really?
Yeah, the obvious missed hints.
There we go.
All right, so now we got to talk to the Flesh Prince because what we discovered was that Red's head is not all Cyberhead. It's it's a different
head
dude's
inside that head.
It's a different dude's head on Foe's body. So yeah, that's interesting, and thus it's like what we thought were Foe's memories was actually the memories of another person.
And possibly a little bit of Foe, like in the body memory, whatever. Because
No,
it seems like that's
the
a thing they
the
talked
person,
about.
What I think it is that it's the person, somebody that knew Foe. Oh, he's traumatized from getting hit with a sniper rifle to the head and having to deal with traumatic memories. Sure, let's take a selfie.
Okay, so we're not a cyberhead. Put the head.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
I'm gonna take him out on. Oh, wow.
really?
Okay.
Okay, so she still knows more than we do.
Yeah. Still kind of funny that we've got like decapitation and police like sniper shots in a versus like how a Jet Set Radio is on how
Jet
much
Set
lighter that
Radio
is.
was all about a magic freaking vinyl that summoned a giant demon.
Yeah,
So
and
I
here we're
mean, it
dealing
had
with
its thing.
like I mean here we're dealing with like gang warfare and police corruption. Or
Yeah.
kind of police corruption, more like
I mean, that's in both,
authoritarian.
I'd say, but yeah.
All right.
Well, I say we're
So
probably
we're
hopping
still
to the next episode after this. Whoa.
Yeah, we did a
Pyramid
little.
Island. All
We did
right.
some progress. We finally got some. We got some story going here.
Yo, I already like what I'm hearing. There's a group called Devil Theory. I like that
Ooh.
tag.
Oh man!
They got thrown out of baton. All right.
These guys are real demons, definitely up to their neck in shady stuff. Oh, I'm ready to see what those dudes look like.
All right. All right. Well, I'm excited to see them too. So that's where we leave off. We're going to go after those guys in the next episode.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Like and sub. And we'll see
like
you
and
next
sub.
episode.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the anime discussion. That's new
Yeah,
for us in a way.
little discussion. And you know what? If y'all have a game series or something that you'd like to see as an animated series, sound it off in the comments because I'm genuinely curious. Because with all of these new animated series announcements and the One Piece live action somehow working the way it did,
Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious to see what other people would want to see adapted, animated or live action. So
Golden Boy.
sound those off.
Give me a Golden Boy adaptation. I need another one.
You want more?
I want more Study Boy.
You want? Yeah, Golden Boy would be kind of fun, but that
Yeah.
I feel like that. I'm too scared to say no. That ship has sailed because I mean we're getting another Fooly Cooly series. It's
Yeah,
like nothing's
no.
truly over. Nothing is truly over.
Nothing is
Even
sacred
Where
anymore.
nothing is over.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I don't know, man. Nothing's over, man. It's weird. Heck, give me another Guyver interpretation.
Okay, that I'd actually be down for.
Yeah,
Because
let's end this on the idea of Guyver.
I like the idea of Guyver, but I remember not being super into the anime, and I hear the live actions just kind of But
Yeah.
I like the idea of it.
Yeah, give us another take at Guyver, okay? Talk to
Yeah.
y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Open Couch Gaming for more video game antics.